7 o'clock, we'll call meeting to order. Stand for the pledge, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I guess that's it.
Okay. Get the motion to accept the minutes of February 16th.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Get a motion to accept the financial report and payment of the bills.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Steve, you have a couple of budget amendments?
Yes, I do. First budget amendment is budget amendment number 2011-012. We recognize $2,000 in forfeited seed funds to the town for the use of investigative expenses for the Elkton Police Department.
Do I have a motion to accept budget amendment 2011-012?
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Second budget amendment is 2011-013 to recognize $3,135 in annexation advertisement revenue for the purpose of the King of Mountain budget for the cost of advertising use of words.
Okay, I have a motion to accept budget amendment 2011-013.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, Severn Trent, Ken?
Evening, Mayor, Councilman. I'd like to give you a brief report on water and wastewater system. For January, we had another great month. We averaged BOD less than 1.6, which is almost nothing. So suspended solids were 5.1. Total nitrogen or ammonia was 0.4 we averaged for the month of January. So we're off to a good start, 2011. There's not a whole lot of things going on, but I'll go let you know that a couple small items that we did this last month. We were able to replace the flow meter at well number 3, and it got it up and running, and we're still continuing to upgrade the chemical feed systems there at well 3. We're doing real well with that. We're about halfway done. We have the bulk tanks in for the sodium hydroxide feed, and that's looking good. Another item which has been started is the Meadows pump station is getting the valves replaced and the piping replaced down in the wet well. So hopefully that'll be done by next time I see you.
Okay.
That's about all I have, really. It's a pretty good month.
Good, good. As long as it keeps running well.
It's running great. It's the effluent sparkles.
Good. Anybody have any other questions, Ken? Okay, Ken. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, Elkton senior housing project update. Jason?
Yes. Should I rise? Or?
Yeah.
Not really sure what to do here, but
Yeah.
okay. My name is Jason Battistelli. I'm the Director of Leasing and Marketing with the Ingerman Group. We are the developers and management company that is in charge of Elkton Senior Apartments.
You can relax, turn around and sit down.
Okay, yeah.
Face us and let us know, talk to us. Talk to us.
Okay.
Talk to us.
Hold the mic closer.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so we were asked to come here to just give an update as to where we are with construction and leasing of the community. We anticipate an opening of our community. Right now, it looks like July, maybe towards the end of July. Okay, construction is moving a little bit ahead of schedule. We are anticipating starting the leasing process within the next month or so. We've procured a space in town that we're going to be leasing out of until we can actually get into the building. Now, is everyone familiar with what we have to offer? Should I give an update of? Okay, we are senior housing. It's affordable for people making under 60% of the area median income. We're open to any senior who would be age qualified and income qualified, and we've started with a waiting list right now that we've looks like we have several people in the room today who I saw the Ingram and envelopes. So there's people we've contacted already who are here, and basically we're ready to start the leasing process. And looking forward to providing much needed senior affordable housing in Elkton.
How many applications you got? Do you know how many applications you've gotten so far? Or?
We have, right now what we have is a contact list, and that list has 76 people on it as of earlier this week.
And 60 units.
For 60 units. And that sounds fantastic, but our experience is you usually need to go through 2 or 3 applicants per unit, just people who, and that's if everything that's if everything goes according to plan. Sometimes we've seen that number higher. So don't be discouraged if if you're interested in housing just because we have 70 something people who've expressed interest doesn't mean that we have all the units spoken for right now.
Good.
Yeah, but
qualification is that?
This one is 62 and older. Yes, 62 and older. Yes.
Is there any way that, well, I understand the word with affordable housing, but a lot of time when you have senior buildings, a lot of people get that confused with subsidy, but,
Yes.
And that goes back to the term you mentioned earlier, affordable housing. There's a difference. And a lot of people don't see the difference between the two.
Okay, there definitely is a difference. Our program is low-income housing tax credits, LIHTC housing. The way that works basically is there is a set flat rent that any resident who would be income qualified would pay. So it's not like subsidized housing where you're going to pay 30% of your income. So
right.
We require that people make enough money where they would where they could afford to pay the rent. So we're not going to put someone in a situation where they can't afford to pay, but at the same time, people do have to make a certain amount of income to qualify.
And with the rent, that does not include utilities. They'll be also responsible for that, or is that all inclusive in the rent?
It is not all inclusive. They would be responsible for the utilities with the exception of the water and sewer. We cover the water and sewer. And there's no charge for maintenance or trash removal or anything like that.
And is there any charge for any amenities that building may have that they would be responsible
No,
for?
we are prohibited through the LIHTC program from charging for any extra amenities. So they pay us the rent and they pay the utility companies the utilities, and that's all they have to pay.
I'm sure it was subject to possible rent increases as well down the line.
Okay, rent increases down the line. There will be a periodic rent increases. They'd be done on a once per year basis. Our company policy is that we would do them in July of every year. The maximum we usually ask for is 3%, and even that would have to be approved by the state of Maryland. So I can't guarantee how much it would go up every year. Some years we're able to get a full 3%. Some years, I think this past year the most we got was about 1.5% just because of the economic conditions. So that would be something that would be done on a year by year basis. The most it would go up is 3%. There's no guarantee it would go up at all.
And I know you're experiencing it, so would that be in the brochure, or would you explain that to a person when they make application and are interviewed for you?
Oh, we definitely would explain that, yes.
Okay. Anyone else have any other questions? Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for your time here.
Okay. Okay, 7:10, have a public hearing for Bell Hill LLC annexation resolution A1 2010.
Good evening. I'm Dwight Covey, attorney for the applicant, and with me is William Lauer of Bell Hill LLC, one of the representatives. I think we had presented to you before some information about this site. This site is out on Bell Hill Road. It involves a commercial building that already exists that was originally developed as a truck maintenance operation and is now vacant, and that they wish to complete the commercial development of the rest of that site. They've requested to be annexed into town. As you probably know, we've run into confusion from the time we started till now, and it's been a moving target the whole time with regard to the provision of sewer service to the site. The water service we've always assumed was going to be provided to Artesian, either making an arrangement using your lines out there or running their own lines. But sewer, we had assumed up until the very recent past that the town would be providing the sewer service to the site. At some point, Artesian came to you and indicated they wanted to provide sewer service to the site pursuant to their franchise agreement with the county. As a result of that, we went back and met with them. Their operations people, I think, are in agreement with us that the only sensible way to get sewer to that site in the foreseeable future is to run it to the town sewer plant, through your sewer lines, which are right there. But we have been unable to get them to give us anything in writing verifying that they're okay with that. They keep telling us that they're talking to you about that among other issues, and they're confident that they will resolve that issue as well as the other issues, but they couldn't get to that point as of tonight. Mayor, as you know, I had talked to Mr. George. Originally we had thought about, we had already postponed this 1 month. We were here last month, that we postpone it again. I don't think we can postpone it again, so the public hearing is here. We certainly can present to you any additional information. The way the application was submitted is we would come in to the town, and as of July 1, we would start paying taxes, and we had intended to connect to your water and sewer service and develop the site. We're still ready, willing, and able to do that, but again, we had the complication with Artesian. That is the only complication I'm aware of. We haven't changed anything with regard to what our intent for the use of the property would be. We don't have an end user at this time, but we have people that are talking to them, and it'll be a commercial use that would fit within your zoning classification. What?
It's a beautiful.
Okay. The county has indicated they're perfectly comfortable with this annexation and with the zoning classification he's going to put on it, because it doesn't change it from what they allowed in their zoning classification. And we're ready to proceed. I had made a suggestion to Mr. George, as he knows, after I got the rug pulled out from under me for the 5th time the other day, that what we would suggest we do is we would hope that the town would agree to annex the property, and we would just change the resolution to address the fact that the taxes will be paid either on July 1 or when we can connect to public water and sewer, whenever that occurs. So if that's after July 1, that the taxes would start once we get that resolved. What we're hoping you will do is give us some relief so that we're obviously not paying taxes while we can't use the property. As soon as we can use the property, we go ahead and start paying the taxes. Again, as of last week, even though Artesian told me they weren't ready to commit that we can do what we want to do, they seem to feel confident in talking to me that in their conversations with the town that this issue should be able to get resolved, hopefully, well before July 1st. And they indicate they're still talking to you about that and a few other issues. So, I'm here to answer questions. I don't know what else to tell you.
I think you pretty much filled it. We do have some issues we have to work out with Artesian. It's 4 o'clock this afternoon. I tried talking with Ms. Taylor to see if I could resolve the problem before tonight's meeting, but again, she's still holding her grounds, and we need to iron out some problems and work with them and see if we can come to conclusion, the board has to discuss their proposal, then go back to them again, and it's just be a matter of time before we can kind of, I guess, work out some kind of arrangements between both of us here.
Well, I guess, you know, I've discussed with my client our risk, and we're basically willing to take the risk, come into town, so long as we have that proviso. We hope that's enough of a proviso to give them at least some protection and to kind of keep everybody focused on trying to get to the end product. You know, whatever that would be, you know.
I had asked Louis, because we've had so many emails back and forth about this, if we have ever done this in the past, and he said, not, we have not.
Right.
I understand the public hearing's been postponed twice. If we went through the public hearing tonight, can we at that time table it till we hear back from Artesian?
You can have a
Or-
public hearing and you don't have to do the resolution tonight, because you made your resolution. And you can probably table that decision on the resolution if we hear from them.
I mean, if that was an option. I mean, I'm just,
That, you know, we're kind of at your mercy at this point in time. We can't provide you with the end solution we had hoped that we were going to be able to provide you a week ago. If that's what you choose to do, that's what we'll have to live with. We were hoping to kind of get it past us at this point, know that we were going to be in town, and you know, it's just a matter of when that solution gets worked out, and as soon as it does, then we're ready to go. But if you want to table it and we come back, then we can do that. I'm aware of other towns, not Elkton, because I've been an attorney for other towns over the years, that have done something like this, where they basically delayed the implementation of the taxation, of the collection of the tax, you know, and starting to tax you until such time as they were able to provide the services. But, you know, that's your call.
I'll be honest with you, I don't really like making decisions on something that I have not the full information on. I mean, Artesian right now, as far as I'm concerned, is playing a game. And I don't want to be in the middle of someone's game, then get caught in a catch-22 because I made a decision on something based on assuming. We all know that the deal between the county and Artesian, that's something that they made. Now we're reinforced to do something because the county says it's okay. They can come back and turn around and wipe out the whole deal if I'm under the right understanding with the Artesian wanting to support the water sewer issue. The town of Elkton, I don't feel as though right now has all the facts to make a decision to push forward. That's my opinion.
If you vote to table it, there's
I mean,
nothing I can do about it.
Because right now,
We'll come back wherever you want us to come
if we
back.
open that up, then every time they do that, we're gonna have to supply services for somebody else because we've done it for you. That's the way I look at it.
I can't argue with you.
I hate to say that.
With where you're at. We just felt like we wanted to present to you in good faith. We've always tried to get this resolved and to tell you, you know, we're okay with being in town, but obviously we need to be in a position where we can use the property. So if you want to table it, we'll have to live with that, and we'll come back, like I said, when and if you feel we need to come back with different information. We will continue to communicate with Artesian, but I kind of feel like I'm beating my head against the wall at this point in time, because every time I think I'm at the finish line, there's always something else they need to talk to the town about.
I think we need to have another workshop with Artesian amongst ourselves and get this, because there's been a lot of conversation through email, and it's just not, you know, we're not getting it, what we want, so we need to sit around a table and,
Well, this is the public hearing. I mean, is there anything else you want me to present? I think you all are very familiar with the property, you're familiar with what our intent is, and we have the zoning classification that we're looking for that's set forth in the resolution. We have no problems with any of that. We simply just need to let you all do what you got to do at this point in time. And if there's anything else you want to ask us about, please feel free to do so. But we're basically kind of on hold with regard to any more of our plans until we get the water and sewer issue.
Well, I just think we need to sit down as a board and discuss the draft agreement that they gave us and let us look at that. And then once we figure out what that's all about and Lou goes over with us, then we might want to send it back to them and let them look at it. And then if not, we'll all get together again at that time and try and see if we can come down to at least one conclusion, and if we're all agreeable on something here, that's where it's going to stand until we make an effort back to them. Because when she talked to me this afternoon, she said she had heard nothing back from us yet, and I told her that we'd group as a board and discuss their agreement or their plan, and then we get back with them,
Okay.
and then we can go from there. You know, we'll submit something again back to them.
Right, and I realize there are other issues that have nothing to do with us that they want to talk to you about, that we
Right.
can't do anything
I
about.
think we're both held hostage at this point.
So, you know, I guess you could,
I just think that you have the public hearing, it's gonna be, I mean, you have to see if anybody has comments from the audience, but my suggestion would be that you close the public, after you have the public hearing, you close it, and then you don't have to do the resolution right away. You can table that until you try to get this straightened out. I understand what Ike is saying, that there are some towns, but this is not like we have to run lines to it. We don't have the authority to do it, and we need the authority to do it before we do it. And I don't recommend you signing the annexation resolution until you have the authority to do it.
Okay. Jeannie, you got anything?
No.
Okay.
Are you
The
gonna?
planning commission did
Yeah.
recommend
Planning Commission.
approval on January 10th, 2011. The Elkton Planning Commission held a public hearing to consider the annexation, and they voted unanimously to approve it with the C3 zoning, highway interchange zoning, which is consistent with the county zoning.
Okay. This is a public hearing. Does anyone wish to speak for or against this project? Anyone wishing to speak for or against this project?
Yeah, my name
We'll
is.
come up, we got to come up. State your name.
Yeah, my name is Eddie Rose. I'm for this project they're trying to get through up there. I know where he's talking about. I know the building he's talking about. And I really think that would help the town if we'd annex it in, it'd be more tax money coming in for the town. And be more jobs for the people of the town. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, then this public hearing is now closed. Okay, what's the board's decision to just delay it until,
I'll make a motion that we table it until we have more factual information at a later date.
I second that motion.
okay, any other discussion? All those in favor? Motion
we
carried.
thank you for your time, we apologize for the.
That's all right.
I really thought I had it worked out, and I tell you, so.
We'll get it
If there's
straightened
anything we can do, let us know.
out. All right,
More than happy to help.
we'll keep you up on it. Okay, Mary Jo, you any old business?
I see the trash cans, the recycling pamphlet, which is very nice in front of us. And I know Commissioner Givens had sent an email out about us having a trash can available for the people. So I was curious, I saw the cost of that, and I thought if we couldn't do the trash can, perhaps we could make a stick-on label, the town of Elkton's recycling, and see what type of cost that is, that the residents can have to put on the trash cans they already have. And see what that type of cost is. And I think that's it for old business. Are we going on to reports now too?
No, well, just let me, I know the store has these at the store, and I guess the ad must have, we put in the paper the other day, must have did something, because I just happened to be working today and got a phone call from a couple of ladies asking if the store sold trash cans for recycling, and did they have the label on there, and I said, yes, we do, so and the word's out there that, you know, we're gonna have to start recycling here, so, that's good. Earl, any old business?
One of the things I brought up last meeting was about moving some funds over for a recreational center for the community, based on the information that was provided last meeting. Like I said, when the schools close, our programs close. We need a building identified just for the use of the public. So that's one of the things I want to really make sure that we implement. And then one of the other things that I wanted to bring up was there was some talk about hookup fees and for water and sewer. Through some conversation, one of the things that I know that we don't want to waive fees and be in that position where we're waiving fees for people, but I wanted to see if we can get the board to either go back and visit the water and sewer fees policy. And because of the economic times, there's a lot of businesses that are coming through with new jobs, providing jobs and services for the community. I figured if we can do anything to help these businesses up and coming, it would bring jobs a lot quicker and people would be employed a little bit faster. And one of the, I guess one of the situations that I've heard was that we can't put up money right up at the beginning all the time for a building. Why don't you guys waive fees? We can't waive fees, but one of the things I want to suggest to the board, if we would take in consideration, maybe at the beginning, I think Middletown, does this. They put up a portion of their hookup fees up front, and then they're broken up just like the water bill in a quarterly bill, based on whatever the amount is. Then that quarterly bill would come due, and then at the end of the project, within 2 to 5 years, whatever it is, the final bill would be implemented, and then that would be paid right before the business is up and running, and then we will automatically start collecting revenues right away once that building starts functioning. So I would like to revisit the policy and see if we can't work with the community to try to be a little bit more business friendly with the builders and developers.
I'm familiar with what you're saying. I think Lewis was starting to work on something like that. We discussed that. When you're not working on something, one time from
Yeah, I drafted a revision to the major facility ordinance, but it was, I don't know if the board got a copy or not, similar to Middletown, Delaware, where a percentage, I had 25% in there, as Middletown does, where they collect that up front when they have building permits issued instead of 100%, and then they collect the balance after the certificate of occupancy is issued. That allows a builder more time and assurance to have the house sold before they have to come up with the money. And Middletown's been very successful according to their mayor, so it might be a good idea for us to look into that, as Commissioner Feiner suggested.
I didn't have this conversation with Lewis, but I just happened to talk to the financial director to ask if this was feasible, and then I wanted to bring it to the board, and that's why it was one of those things. I'm not behind y'all's back talking. I just want to bring up something that will probably work for all of us.
And I think that's a great idea because the banks aren't financing projects 100% like they did years ago. And to finance the project, they want the building full, and that's just not happening. So if we did something like this, we are being much more business friendly, and especially to the developers.
Good. Well, if you can draft something up like that, let us look at it and we can analyze it and check it out.
That's it.
Good. Charlie, any old business?
The old business that I discussed before, and I still maintain we need to look at some type of trash containers for trash. Lewis presented a price of the containers. I guess he didn't